This time, I'm going to go ahead and tag everyone and then get started. Been troubleshooting for the past 13 minutes, so sorry I am late. I'm going to figure this out at some point. Okay, great. Everyone. Beautiful. Okay, hopefully that works. All right, and make sure I'm muted here, so we don't have any feedback, and then I think we're good to go. Get started here. I'm figuring it out. We're doing it. Yeah. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right, if anyone has questions, feel free to comment. I can see what's happening in the Facebook group. So if you want to leave a comment and ask a question, I can actually see it. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and get started and talk about how to get motivated. Okay, so I have my own motivation evaluation system because I believe to get motivated, you have to first understand why you are not motivated. And I find it is one of 5 things. Under these 5 things, there are like deeper layers to it. But out of the 1 through 5, it's usually always 1 through 5. And I do have them in chronological order. So this is basically what I take my clients through when they come to me and they're working on a goal, but things are not working, that's not clicking for them. They're not excited about it. It's just not happening. It's usually one of these 5 reasons. So I'm going to make sure everything's good to go, and then I'm going to start. I think we're good and we're live. Okay. Beautiful. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I first want to point out that this is, everyone deals with the lack of motivation. Everyone feels like they're not motivated at times, and everyone beats themselves up about it. And it's very, very counterproductive to have negative self-talk and be beating yourself up when you're trying to get motivated. That's about the least motivating thing you can do, is beat yourself up about the fact that you're not motivated. Motivation is caused by a series of actions. So keep that in mind, that each action is easier after the first action. But I am going to go into detail about why. But I just wanted to say, it's natural to feel unmotivated. It's not like it's a you problem. We all have a difficult time getting motivated for different reasons. So I'm going to start getting into those here. Think of your motivation as like a pipe. And if it's clogged, like something it's not going smoothly, everything feels difficult, everything feels hard, and you're not being consistent, your motivation is clogged. And then once you know why it's clogged, it's much easier to get unclogged and get motivated. So that's why I have this motivation evaluation system where you can actually self-evaluate, figure out what your current block is, and then how to navigate it from there. So I have a series of 5 reasons why you may not be feeling motivated, and they are in chronological order. So the first thing you have to assess, if you're wondering why you're not feeling motivated, is, okay, she can hear me. Great. I was like, I might be talking for 10 minutes and no one can hear what the hell I'm saying. Great. So, number 1, this is the very first thing you have to consider and look at when you are not feeling motivation is, are your basic needs met? So my rule of thumb is we go back to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you don't know what that is, you can look it up. It's a triangle, and on the bottom is 1, food, water, shelter, and sleep. So if you're not sleeping because of a crying baby, that's affecting your physiological needs. If you're not eating enough, physiological. If you don't have food and water, or you don't have enough food and water, and you're dehydrated, all of that is going to affect your ability to function as a human being. So if you're trying to run a marathon and you have a goal to run a marathon, but you haven't been sleeping because you have a toddler, It's your physiological needs that are stopping you. It's not your lack of desire, or it's not your lack of get up and go. It's that you're underslept and you're probably a little dehydrated. So the first thing is making that bottom layer of the pyramid good to go. Like, make sure all your basic needs are met. Okay, that's physiological. 2 is safety related. So this is security in your home, security, like financial security, make you like you're not threatened by, the roof being taken out from under you. You're not worried about, where am I going to stay next month? This is like health needs are being met as well. If you're having a lot of health problems, it threatens our psyche on such a deep foundational level that's going to be in level 2. Just know also that self-esteem is level 4. So anything under level 4, if your basic needs are not being met, it's going to be really hard to get to level 4, which is motivation. So you have to make sure you feel safe. You have your security that, you are going to survive. This is all very subconscious, right? Level 3 is love and belonging. This is actually under level 4. Love and belonging and feeling supported. So this is, do you feel supported by your community, by the people in your circle? Do you feel safe with the person you're living with the people in your home? Do you feel loved and supported by them? This is on a subconscious level, us being a part of our tribe, because being a part of a tribe was always key to our survival. So that comes up in our lives now as our community, our friends, and our family, and making sure we feel supported. If you have a lack of support and you feel like you're all alone and you're doing everything on your own, it's going to be really hard to get to that level 4. And level 4 is self-esteem. This is self-respect, respect of self, respect of others, and having respect from others. And this is where you start to feel motivated. This is where, you start to get, what's the first thing like we do when we go back to the gym for the first time is we're like, oh, I should do this every day. That's that thought. That means you're at level 4. It means your body and your subconscious mind are open to the idea of taking this to the next level. It means your basic needs are met. And level 5, the top of the pyramid, is self-actualization. It's creativity. It's problem solving. It's this is what it looks like when you're running a marathon, when you're thriving in your business. This is level 5. So the very first thing when anyone comes to me and they're saying, I don't feel motivated, I don't know what's wrong with me, blah, 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 blah. You have to make sure you're sleeping, getting enough food, getting enough water. You feel safe where you are in your environment, and you do have support. You have some sort of community, even if it's just 2 really good friends. You need something to feel supported by so you can thrive. And then we'll talk about level 4, which is motivation. So the first step of my motivation evaluation is make sure your basic needs are met. You can refer to the Maslow's hierarchy pyramid, and you can look at it there to figure out what it is that you may be missing if you do think it's a basic needs issue. Okay, so we'll go ahead and move on to level 2, which is subconscious thought patterns that could be derailing you. So, of course, the basic needs, a lot of our physiological needs are also subconscious, but when you get up a little bit further than that, the subconscious mind is very, very sneaky. I could talk about it all day. I have a long list of books I recommend and things you can study to learn more about the subconscious mind. If you're interested in learning about my recommendations, just send me a message and I'll send those books to you. But there's 3 subconscious patterns I notice that derail people the most. One is fear of failure. That's probably the most obvious, because fear of failure it's paralyzing and it keeps you from starting something. It's that feeling of it's dread. It's you don't know where to start. You don't know what your first action step should be. So you're just dreading starting anything. And we all have it. So this is nothing to, again, it's like, oh, that's me. No, we all have fear of failure. We have fear in our body, in our subconscious mind to keep us alive. So there's this quote that Liz Gilbert says that I absolutely love. And she says, fear comes along with her on any journey, whether she's writing a new book or she's moving to a new city, anything, fear is going to be involved. And what she says is she lets fear come, but you have to sit in the back seat and you can't touch the radio. So it's acknowledging fear. Thank you. Thank you for keeping me alive. Thank you for keeping me safe. That's your job, but you are not needed on this project. I don't need you to come along with me while I'm trying to run a marathon. And you can straight up like write a letter to fear. You can talk to yourself in the mirror. You can just meditate and visualize yourself talk. I find it to be very helpful. One thing I used to practice and I used to have my clients do is they drew their own fear goblin. So whatever like that inner critic or that fear voice was in their head, I had them draw it. And then you can either like crumple it up and throw it away, or you can have it close by so you can look at it and you can talk to it. This is all just, outsmarting the subconscious. My phone isn't on silent. Sorry about that. Now it is. Okay, so first is fear of failure. 2 is even sneakier, which is fear of success. So fear of success, why it's so sneaky and debilitating is because fear of failure keeps us from starting. Fear of success sabotages us after we've started. So the reason it's so sneaky is because you wouldn't expect fear of success to be in your psyche at all, right? It's like, why the hell would I ever have a fear of being successful? And why would it sabotage me? So some examples of this look like, there's a leading actress. She gets her dream role. She gets, cast as the lead. And on opening day, she gets sick and she can't perform. That's a classic example of fear of success and self-sabotage. Another one would be getting a promotion and then losing a client the same week. Something else could be, being in a new, loving, healthy relationship and then picking a fight for absolutely no reason. These are all, I will say, there's a book called The Big Leap that you can look up. And he says that the categories of life where we self-sabotage the most are creativity, wealth, and relationships or love. I also think our body manifests self-sabotage as health issues as well. And if you want to read a book on that, you can read You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. But if basically what fear of success really is, it could be that you genuinely fear the life in what way your life would look like if you had the goal. For example, like if a musician's dream of being successful as a touring musician, but being on the road actually threatens their physiological needs, or they don't want to leave their family, they could end up sabotaging their career simply because they don't want to tour that much. Whereas, if you are a musician, if you're doing your own thing, you can make your own schedule and you can dictate how much you want to tour, how much you don't want to tour. So there's loopholes to everything. So really sit and consider, what is my dream? What is this idea of success for this goal look like to me? And do I actually want that? Which brings me to my next pattern. So it's fear of success, fear of failure. And number 3 is your goal isn't a true soul's desire for you. If you don't actually want your goal, you're not going to be motivated enough to keep going when shit gets hard, and you're going to self-sabotage to get out of it. What an example of this could look like is someone's taking over the family business and they just can't seem to understand why they're not motivated in their work to become the new CEO. So, well, you probably didn't want to do it. Like, it's something that your parents wanted you to do, or your parents wanted them to do, but really what they wanted to do was to write novels. They're not going to be motivated to hit that CEO position when they really want to do something else. So if you are questioning why you're not feeling motivated, it's important to take a step back and really, really dig into what this vision is, this goal is. Do you genuinely want it, or is it some sort of vision or goal someone else has put on you and maybe you haven't really come into the realization of that yet? So I definitely always recommend taking a deep look into your vision, getting very clear about what it is you want, because if you're going after something that's not a true soul's desire for you, it will not happen and you will sabotage it and you'll be confused as to why you're doing that. Okay, so that's all. Number 2, under the umbrella of your subconscious thought patterns would be derailing you, which is why you're not motivated. Next on the motivation eval is 3, you're in a learning curve. So if you're starting something new that you've never done before, maybe starting an online business for the first time, maybe you're lifting weights for the first time, you're trying to run a marathon for the first time. In the beginning, it can be difficult to see. Sometimes it feels like there's no result in sight. So let's say you've been working out for a month and you've had like a goal to like maybe have a little bit more thin around the waist, or you're trying to hit a number, like a weight number. And maybe let's say you've been working out for 4 weeks straight and nothing has changed yet. in that moment, it can feel very debilitating and very unmotivating. And it seems at times like your result is never going to happen. When I first started my online business, I was creating content, I was putting things out, I was doing all these things, and I wasn't getting any responses. And I really started to question, is this going to work? Like, is this going to work for me? I really don't know. I really genuinely did not know if what I was doing was going to get me any closer to my result. So what you should do if you feel like you're in this learning curve phase, because learning something new is inherently already difficult. So it's already a little bit unmotivating when you have to figure out something new for the first time. But when you genuinely are questioning if this is going to work for you and you're going to get results, the best thing you could do is join a community, find a group of people who are already doing the same goal as you. So let's say you're trying to start an online business and you're trying to get clients online. The best thing you can do is join a community of people who are already who already started their online business and who are getting clients and who are making money. So you can talk to them and see, oh, this will work. I just have to keep going. If you're trying to lose weight, get around other people in the gym who maybe they've been doing it a little bit longer than you, talk to them, figure things out with them, ask them questions, and you'll start to see and get inspired by the fact that it is working for them. That alone is going to give you more motivation than you know to keep going. I think if I wasn't surrounded by people who were doing the same thing as me when I first started my online business, I would have questioned a lot if it was going to work, just because it's that very beginning, early stage can be quite tricky. Okay, next is number 4, which is you have a lack of systems, which is keeping you from being motivated in your goal. This could be you don't have time, like you're not scheduling time to work on this goal. You don't have the right software, or you don't have the right things in place, to pull this off. Maybe you don't have enough good habits to support your new goal, or you may have too many bad habits that are derailing you from hitting your goal. So make some examples of this would be, let's say you're trying to train for a marathon, but you have no time scheduled to go to the gym. Like, it's not in your calendar. You're just going when you feel like it, and you're not seeing any results. It's not getting any easier when you're going because you're waiting a week in between training. You have to get a system in place. You have to make a schedule and make this new goal a priority, put it in your schedule. And this might mean delegating to people and asking for help, which I'll talk about more in a minute. If you're starting an online business for the first time, but you don't have any software to keep you on track, and you just have a ton of handwritten to-do notes everywhere, that's not really efficient. It's not going to help you make thousands and thousands of dollars if you're stuck in that zone where you don't have the right systems and you don't have the right software that you might need. Another example of this would be for the habits piece. Let's say you are trying to have like a health goal. You're trying to run a certain amount of miles or trying to lose a certain amount of weight, but you've got a really bad habit of like drinking wine every night. And what happens is you oversleep and then you don't get to go to the gym, or you eat really bad food when you hang out with this one friend because that's what you guys do. And then you feel like shit the next day and you don't want to go to the gym. So having good habits to support your new goal and taking out the bad ones that are derailing you alone are going to help you get in your zone so much easier and feel so much more motivated, simply because you took out the one thing that was holding you down. So definitely get some systems in place, get you a Google Calendar or some sort of scheduling. A lot of people have a calendar and they like to just put an X on it every day. They like to see it and make that X. That's a system right there. It doesn't all have to be software related for like your computer. Just have some sort of system, something that's going to get you checking boxes, seeing results, and seeing how much work you've been putting in. So that's number 4. And the last thing, number 5, the 5th reason, and I think this is the top reason, or not the top, like the most important, but if you can get all of the other things sorted out when you're still not feeling motivated, it's probably because you don't have the capacity at this time to take on the new goal. Let's say your basic needs are met, you're ready to go, you don't feel like you have any subconscious thought patterns that are derailing you, you have systems in place, and it's not too much of a learning curve for you anymore, but you still aren't jazzed about it. You're still not getting in the habit of things. You're still not making moves. It could be because you are at capacity and you have too much going on. and you're feeling a little bit burnout. If you're feeling burnout, it's really hard to try something new. You've got to learn to delegate what you can, and offload, outsource if you're available to. So let's say you've got 3 kids, you've got a business, you've got XYZ, you already do, like, your schedule is tacked, and now you want to train for a half marathon, and you're come to me and you're like, I just don't know why I'm not motivated to go train. It's like, sis, your day is full. You're at capacity, bro. Like, you can't, like, you don't even have room in your calendar for an hour training session. You already are taking care of your kids and your business is like, you've got too much going on. So you have to delegate something. Maybe ask the hubby or whoever, maybe mom, hey, can you watch my kids, for an hour, 3 times a week, and I can go train, and then I can do something nice for you, or I can pay you. If you have the means to outsource, maybe it's tasks in your business you shouldn't be doing anymore that you can hire a personal assistant for. Maybe you're cooking a lot and you can hire a personal meal prepper to prep your meals. That's really effective. Maybe it's hiring a cleaning service. Maybe it's hiring a video editor so you don't have to spend so much time doing tedious tasks in your business. Whatever it might be, if you can delegate, you can outsource, you can clear up more time for your schedule. And what is it you want to do at that time? Your new goal. You can fit your new goal in by outsourcing and offloading some things that maybe you don't need to be doing anymore. So that is the list. This is how I take everyone through when they come to me and they're like, I have this goal. And especially if it's a big goal, you have to make some changes. You can't keep doing what you've always did. What's the phrase? You can't keep doing what you've always done and expect a new result. You just can't. You have to change something. You have to change your schedule. You have to change how you think about something. You have to maybe you just need to make sure you get sleep. Maybe for the first time in your life, you need to actually prioritize getting sleep, and then you will have, or maybe it's nutrition. If you prioritize nutrition in your life, you actually need less sleep because your body needs less time to digest things. So let's say you wake up at 9 a.m. and you want to be waking up at 6. Eat healthier. I swear. Eat healthier and you have so much easier of a time getting up early in the morning. Imagine if you had 2-3 extra hours a day. Imagine what you could do with that time. I had to really take a hard look and examine my life when I was like, I want to do this and I want to do this. And I want to have a business, but I want to learn to surf. I had to wake up earlier and have more time in my day to fit everything in. And what I did by doing that is I ate healthier dinners. So that way my body didn't need as much time to digest. So you didn't need as much sleep. So there's a lot of ways to evaluate why you may not be feeling motivated and how to fix them. All of these have action steps. If your basic needs are met, that's priority number 1 is making sure you get your basic needs met. Number 2, if you do have subconscious thought patterns derailing you, or you have the hunch that that's what's happening, do some meditation, do some stream of conscious writing, sign up with a call with me and we could talk about it. Get a therapist, get an energy worker, anyone who you can verbally process with, who you trust, who can help you figure this out. Number 3, if you're on a learning curve, the action step there is to get in a community of people who are doing and have already had success in the area you were trying to have success in, so you can be around it, see it, and see that it's possible for you. If you don't have, number 4, if you have a lack of systems, just get systems in place. Make a legitimate schedule. Get some new software on your laptop so you're not writing handwritten to-do lists everywhere. Figure out, cut some bad habits, quit drinking, cut back on the booze. Sign up for a session with me and we can figure out how to do that together. We'll create your schedule. We'll create your Google Calendar. I do 3 of those a month, so very open to you if you'd like to do that. And the last thing, if you don't have capacity to take on a goal, your action step is to start delegating. Start outsourcing, offloading as much as you can so you have room for this new goal. And I promise you, if you go through this and you create each action step, you will feel more motivated. You will feel more jazzed about what you're doing. Like you'll be more excited about it. I won't feel like as much of a drag. I'm not saying that things aren't difficult. Starting an online business is difficult. If it wasn't, everyone would do it. Running a marathon is difficult. If it wasn't, everyone would do it. Shit is still going to be difficult, but if you can have the discipline to push through the difficulty and just start with that first action step, you will see results and you will be so happy. You will be thrilled and you will feel. What happens is it's like a self-confidence snowball effect. When you start doing what you say you're going to do, first of all, you feel like you can do a lot of other things. But second of all, your body and your subconscious mind start to build trust with yourself. So the more difficult things you end up accomplishing, and you keep hitting those check boxes, and you keep doing the thing you're going to do every day when you wake up early and you get your ass to the gym, your body and your subconscious mind have more trust with yourself that are going to help you do harder and harder things. Like me going out on surfing days, even when I don't want to and I'm scared and the waves are big, and I do it. It's hard, it's difficult, and then it's like the biggest rush of adrenaline. I feel like I can do fucking anything. So have that chain, start that chain of events, get that first action step going. And this is a hack that you probably hear a lot if you're in the self-help world and you're trying to better yourself and everything. If you have a goal, let's say you have to write 3 college essays, okay? Write 1. While you're in the zone, and that's actually a really terrible example. I would never want to write 3 college essays in a row. You have to make 3 Instagram reels, and I didn't even go to college. That was a terrible example. You have to make 3 Instagram reels. Just make the 1. I did this last week. I was like, I've got to make 10 reels, and I do not want to do it. I was in a terrible mood. I was having a bad hair day, and I didn't want to be on camera. But I knew my video editor needed one, so I was like, okay, I'll just do 1 because we need to put it out. And I did 1, and then I was like, I already have my camera set up. I already have my makeup on. I might as well do 2. And I ended up doing 8. That happens a lot. So if you just say, even like drive yourself to the gym. Sometimes I do this to myself all the time. I'll take my surfboard to the beach and I'll tell myself, you don't have to get in the water if you don't want to, but take the board. And I've never not gotten in the water unless the waves were flat. So have that first action step and kind of trick yourself into it. And then once you get that first action step, it's so much easier to go down the line and keep doing it over and over and over. So I hope this was helpful. Again, if you have been feeling really unmotivated and you feel like you're stuck in one of these 5 areas, feel free, hit me up for a free session. I give away 3 per month and we'll get down to the bottom of it together. And I would love to help you with that. And if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. I'm always available for messages. And if you did want a list of resources, any of the books I mentioned on this live, just hit me up and I will send those to you. Hope you all have a great day. Happy Monday.